Hey everybody, what's going on? I am Jamie Dawn, your evolutionary revolutionary astrologer. It has been a while, a hot minute since I have done a video. A lot of it is because Nine Gates Mystery School has had some schools going on, which I've had to be very present for, and life, of course, takes over, and there's all kinds of things going on. The big exciting news is that my daughter and I, and some of you know her, Tatiana, she's a mental health therapist. We have a podcast that we've done, and she and I are getting an office together. We were able to get the keys and get some furniture moved in last weekend. And so that's taken up a little bit of time for us as well, but I'm excited because we both will have a local presence in Reno. So very excited about that, as it also turns my attention once I get established there, where I'm going to hopefully start offering some classes and some in-person meetings and things like that. So it'd be great if you're anywhere in the area and you want to connect. It's another way to do it. Speaking of connection, as you know, you can find me on One2Listen as well as jamiedawn.com. So if you are looking to reach out, just reach out to me in either one of those avenues. So we've had a few things going on, obviously. We've had the eclipses, the Virgo Pisces eclipses. We're in that season right now, and we'll continue through till the middle of next year. And when we wrap up, and the nodes of the moon will then move into the next set, which is Aquarius Leo. So the nodes of the moon, keep in mind, go backwards on the signs. So we just finished, before the Pisces Virgo, we just finished the Aries Libra, all about you and me and joined versus independent. Now we've had the Virgo Pisces energy, which is really about being open to all things, connecting to our more spiritual nature, or more psychic nature, and then putting it into tangible form, trying not to get overly critical or think too hard, analysis paralysis, right? Some of those shadow sides, but there's great healing that comes in place of with the energy of these eclipses. So we just had a new moon in Virgo eclipse. Hopefully there was seeds of intention for you around anything that was about, say, decluttering our lives. Is this useful? Is it not useful? Is this relationship toxic, or is it time to let it go and form new relationships? It affected all of us in many different ways, of course. I know for myself, I found a deepening of my own belief system, a deepening of my own way of thinking and being when it comes to embracing some challenges in life, when it comes to taking this 3D reality too seriously, which I can do very easily at times. So I'm grateful for the eclipses. I'd love to hear. I'm really trying to dedicate more time to interacting with you here at this channel. So love comments. How have these eclipses been for you? What have you noticed? I do love the fact too that Tatiana and I moved our furniture and got the keys on Sunday when the eclipse occurred. So that was great. I felt, as far as taking steps when it comes to our intentions of getting this office set up, because both of us are in that mindset of being of great service. The thing I love most about this office space, one, the energy is fantastic. I have to tell you the story real quick. Bear with me, because I'm going to give you some pins on the map energetically. But when we went to look at this office space about 2 months ago, I'm standing there in one of the offices, and there's a window that overlooks the city and the mountains, and it's just gorgeous. And I'm standing there, and all of a sudden a hummingbird comes up and hovers right in the window, like staring at me. And the property manager was standing there with me and saw it. And I was like, okay, this is our place, you know. So I'm very excited. That was my little confirmation. And then here we are in this new moon eclipse, and we are, quote unquote, opening the office. We're going to have a grand opening sometime, I think, in October. All that good stuff. As you can tell, I'm pretty excited about it. But right now, what have we got going on? right? Also, we've had the eclipses, but now we're going to start settling into Mars is now in Scorpio. We're in Libra season officially now as the sun has ingressed into the sign of Libra. That was at our autumn equinox on Monday, the 22nd. We're going to have Mercury transiting out of the sign of Libra and into Scorpio on October 6th. I'm going to put another futuristic pin on the map. And the reason being, Mercury is going to retrograde in November. Why I'm putting that pin on the map? Because it will retrograde back into the late degrees of Scorpio. So start tracking now certain themes that come up from our mental acuity, from the ways in which we might question things going deeper. Not everything is what it appears to be. Maybe there's some things that we're holding really close to our chest when we're dealing with Scorpio energy. Some secrets can come out, or secrets held maybe during the retrograde time, they come to light. That often happens. Also, I'm putting this spin on the map. If you think you're doing something quote unquote nefarious, you're deciding or tempted to have some sort of affair, it may be coming out to light, and there could be a lot of things that get ruined because of it. So maybe it's not you, maybe it's a partner that has these tendencies. Anyways, confront things now. Have the conversations now. We have a full moon in Aries right after Mercury moves into Scorpio. That'll be on Tuesday, October 7th. And I'll say that's an auspicious day. It's my son-in-law's birthday. So I like that. But this full moon in Aries, I'll talk about that for a second. So these are just some pins on the map. The energy over the next week or so is pretty powerful when Mars is the traditional ruler of Scorpio. Scorpio is now co-ruled by Mars and Pluto, since we now have the outer planets. And the emphasis here with Mars being in Scorpio, it's really powerful because Mars is associated with power. It's associated with similar to Pluto, but it's about our drive, our courage, our ambition, which it takes us feeling a little bit powerful to have that drive and courage. Mars is also have to do with desires and confronting challenges. It's like, show me what I can't do and I'll show you how I can do it, kind of thing. In its positive expression, Mars empowers us to take initiative, defend our boundaries, super important, and achieve goals. But we do have to watch the shadow side of Mars, of course, which is anger, impulsiveness, creating conflict that isn't there, maybe taking things in a way that is combative. And then in the sign of Scorpio, being a fixed sign, Scorpio is known for depth and intensity. You add Mars's drive to that intensity, woo, it could get a little hot, but that could be great when we're dealing, because Mars also works with the energy of sexual expression. And so things could get really steamy in the bedroom. This could be a time where maybe you're exploring some taboo things that maybe you need to mix it up a little bit, get some some variety in the bedroom, maybe, or go deeper with intimacy. Scorpio also, and Mars and Scorpio, intimacy issues, trust issues, those are things that can also challenge us as we are working with the influences. So there may be, look at it this way, with Mercury entering Scorpio, triggering the mind, we know that the mind and emotions are canoodling. They work together. The mind could create a story that creates emotions, and then you put Mars and Scorpio in there, and what could often happen is we say and do things on an impulse because our emotions are driving the train. And so what we have to work with, because it's going to be intensified with Mars in Scorpio, Mercury in Scorpio, and then you've got the sun in Libra seeing every angle possible. Oh my goodness, we may find ourselves writing the best telenovela ever and doing and saying things that we may regret down the road. So the way to work with this energy is to ask questions first, shoot later. Okay. Our desires become more intense. So I know there's a few of us are going to get restless where it's like, I want this when I want it and I want it now. And Mars will give us the energy. If you feel like you've been procrastinating, can give us the energy to get it going. But on the downside is we get impatient, right? And that's where we start pushing, if you will. And in that pushing, then we might end up hurting feelings or creating wounding, that sort of thing. There is an invitation also during this time to dive deep into our emotional body, really giving ourselves that care when it comes to understanding why maybe we're reacting the way we are or want what we want. I would offer that if you don't have a safe environment right now, in order to explore that, please get a professional to assist you with it. Their role is to create the environment, not to fix it for you, but to create the safe environment for you to be able to explore and experience all the different bandwidths, all the different back and forth, ups and downs, insides and outs to the emotional body. The other thing that could come up is there could be some issues around power and control. So really check in. Am I creating a power struggle? Is this person creating a power struggle? Often that can happen when we make assumptions instead of giving people the benefit of the doubt. So that's the invitation. See if we can give each other the benefit of the doubt. If trust is there, then we should be able to do that. Our intuition gets really heightened here. Again, creating the shadow side, if we're not careful, of paranoia, of investigation. Now, there may be times where we need to investigate because there's some things that are hidden that need to come out. That also can come to our advantage as well. It's a very transformative time. So give yourself permission to explore shadow work. It's a great time for that too. Bring out the shadow so that we can integrate it, not demonize it. That shadow is part of the human. It's what makes us human. It's what we need in order to transform. Think of it in alchemy, in terms of alchemy. We need that ingredient of Saturn, of salt. We need the ingredient of the Negrito in order to create this philosopher's stone. So the other thing with Mars and Scorpio is boundaries are going to be really important. So if you're working through something pretty big, shadow work, that sort of thing, create those healthy boundaries that say, look, right now, this is what I need. And remember, boundaries are there to say, in order to be in this relationship with you, in order to engage in a healthy way with you, this is what I need. So those are some things to pay attention to. Now, it's going to start triggering us just before this full moon in Aries, which happens, like I mentioned, on the 7th of October. And so with the full moon in Aries, think about this, Aries is ruled by Mars as well. So think of it this way, we're going to have a lot of Martian influence, okay? Again, the planets don't make anything happen, but there is outside circumstances, there's the internal landscape and dialogues that go on that can trigger us. So what we're being asked to do now that we have this full moon in Aries is to release anything that doesn't serve us, that has created this fiery, I'll say fiery impact on our lives that maybe isn't serving us anymore. So think of it this way, though, fire can inspire us to overcome fears, can give us the courage to have those courageous conversations, to release a relationship that has been codependent or toxic or abusive even. So this is really a time at this full moon, as we're working with all this energy leading up to it, of finding a healthy balance between our personal autonomy and the relationships that are worth holding on to. There's a potential for impatience, of course, and confrontation. So we need to make sure that we channel this element of fire in a positive way. The way to use this full moon fire is to move the body, get out, maybe do a fire ceremony, do breath work, anything that just allows you to inspire, to move anything that may feel a little constellated. So these are some things that we'll just be paying attention to. I will offer that I can see many of you who are single, beginning new relationships during this time that can be really not impulsive. That's not the word. They're going to be intense right up front. And so you may find yourself like automatically moving in together, getting the U-Haul mindset, if you will, And the invitation is take your time, take your time, take your time, enjoy the passion that may come with this time, but give yourself permission to also let things unfold naturally. The other thing too, I would say, if you're in a coupled relationship, this could be a time of really deepening through conversation and connection, meaningful conversation. All right, you guys, I really hope this helps. I'm so happy that I'm able to do this with you and for you. And would love for you to comment, like, share, whatever. I want to know that these videos are serving you in some way, shape, or form. And I want to hear how you're doing. All right, come find me at 12listen and jamiedawn.com, and I will see you next time. Have a great week.